So it's very important for individuals in the rural counties to understand that they too need to be counted, and many of these homes will have multiple families living in there, so therefore we need to have that accurate number so that any of the federal dollars, whether it be for rural development or infrastructure development, that we can draw down those federal dollars to come and aid those families. Not only that, but we do have schools in those areas. Those schools may have to close, and those students may have to drive a distance or go further distance with public transportation to get to schools. So therefore we need the funds to make sure that those schools can stay open to provide for those families.
Everybody's talking about health care and healthcare funding, and we know that in a lot of communities that the emergency room is the primary care physician for a lot of our citizens. So without the proper funding, and in my district we have hospital districts that are taxed, and so in the end, if we don't have the proper counts, we don't get the proper funding, so therefore the tax rate then has to go up, and again that too affects the quality of life of all the citizens in my district.
In light of the economy today, I think people appreciate money, and the census is primarily about money. Who gets what, when, and where for the next 10 years. That's why it's so crucial that the Black Caucus devise a plan to make sure that each one of our constituents allows themselves to be counted so that they can have access to all the services that the United States offers individuals for the next 10 years. We've called all the leaders, the religious leaders, the fraternity leaders, the political leaders to be here today to be informed by the Census Bureau about how they can reach out to each one of their constituents to make sure their districts get counted, to get the resources that they need. And we're also planning on having a town hall meeting with each 26 of our members in our respective districts at the same time on the same day, along with Michael Bazin and Tom Joyner to broadcast it so that we can get the word out in Florida.
I think it's important for young people to be accounted and accountable to whatever process is going on with the census, because it means a lot of dollars coming into our community. This is for schools, this is for social programs that a lot of young people are involved in and take advantage of. So if we're not engaged in the process on the ground level, then we won't know what's going on. So I think it's important for myself and other young people to be engaged in this process from the beginning. I think our president has made an initiative to make sure that, you know, we have the race to the top. It's something that the White House has implemented. And we are in a global economy, and so we need educated young people to be able to do well in math and sciences. And I think that, you know, a lot of us are focusing on the test, but I think education is the foundation of a lot of success. So whether it's regards to getting good jobs or whether getting health care access or just in the economy in general, we need educated citizens. So I think the funding going to our school districts, going to programs to keep young people off the streets and into schools, into programs that can better foster their creative geniuses, and so make sure that we have credible citizens for our society. So I think these dollars that come in, you know, it's very, very needed in Miami-Dade County, one of the largest counties in Florida. So we need those dollars to come into our community, directly impacting our community, so we see a better return on our investment.
The last census, we lost over $260 million. So we want to make sure that we do the best we can to engage our communities, advising them as to how the funds will be utilized and how it benefits all the programs that we offer in our schools, at our hospitals, and just throughout Broward County, roads and bridges and everything. It is equally as important as voting, I would say, but I would tell the little person that looks to me and say, why is it important to me? I said, don't you want everyone to know that you're here? And if I know you're here, then I can fight for you. I will be your voice. But if you're not here, if you're invisible, then I don't have your voice.
Our goal is to make sure that we get the funding that is appropriate for our district, which will improve the infrastructure, because the infrastructure needs badly to be re-improved. We need the schools, we need the funding for schools, we need the funding for healthcare facilities, infrastructure. So there's a lot of things that we need to do in the district, but in order for us to do that, we need to get the federal dollars to flow, especially in Belglade, Pahokee, and South Bay, which they're not flowing right now. If you're not counted, you know, we count for how many prisons that we're going to build. We count how many kids are failing in school. But if we are not getting the dollars that flows from the federal government to, especially my region in Palm Beach County, then, you know, they're just not going to get the resources that they need to rebuild the infrastructure. And as we all know that right now, with unemployment so high, we need to recreate the jobs. And in order to get the federal dollars down, we need to know who's there and what resources that the federal government can flow to that district.